Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the new um, Way of the Hunter game. Well, not an in-depth look at the actual game because it's not out yet, but I want to go more in-depth talking about where I'd like to see this game go. Just talking about what happened to Way of the Hunter. And stuff like that. But before we do that, there is a new teaser trailer that I found very interesting. It's on YouTube. Let's take a look at it now, shall we?
Welcome to the next adventure from hunting simulation veterans, Nine Rocks Games. Our experience with Way of the Hunter and the feedback from over 1 million players has helped us understand what makes the ultimate hunting game. Our team is building the foundation for a massive hunting world designed to evolve and grow for years to come. Your journey begins in the vast Canadian wilderness of New Laurentia. Here, you'll join a group of nature and hunting enthusiasts dedicated to restoring the reserve to its former glory. Prove your worth to the locals, and you might even earn the chance to manage the reserve yourself. Now that you've seen what this place has to offer, let's talk about the deal. If you join our team, you'll be fully equipped for every hunt. From heavy-duty trucks and top-notch rifles to cutting-edge hunting equipment, we've got you covered. And of course, we know you're a package deal. Your hunting buddy comes too.
Okay, so let me just get back up on the screen here. So there's a couple things I want to point out in this trailer that caught my attention here. So let's just rewind this. Okay, let's do this here and let's mute him for now. Um, okay, here we are, a shot across the water. Looks really good, right? Okay, now if we stop here, well, it's kind of blurry, but look at the reflections in the water. Okay, so this is going to be on Unreal Engine 5. Um, I don't know for sure. I mean, does that look like that could be ray tracing to you guys? You can't really see it right there. If I stop it, you can see the reflections on the water, and it looks really good. It looks really good if we keep moving forward here. I mean, look at the reflections in the water coming up when it comes to the bridge here. I mean, look at that. That looks really good to me. I didn't really notice that before. Like I said, I thought originally that the game looks kind. Ooh, wait. Let's rewind this a bit. Oh God, they're so blurry. This this deer. I don't have my cursor on. Damn it! But the deer, like as you can see on the screen, there's one guy kind of just coming into the screen, and there's a second one there. That's got a big rack on it. That's got a big rack, and it's so blurry, but it looks interesting to me. It looks very interesting. Okay, so let's move along here. Okay, so in this part here, we have a pickup truck. We did not have a pickup truck in the last game. Of course, we had the little side-by-sides, and we did have a Jeep, but a full-on pickup truck, that is pretty cool. I know this is something that a lot of people have been wanting in a hunting game for a very long time, to have a pickup truck. I mean, pickup trucks with fishing and hunting, it just goes together, man. It's like peanut butter and jelly, you know? So if we turn the sound back on,
From heavy-duty trucks and
from heavy-duty trucks,
top-notch rifles to
top-notch
cutting-edge
rifles.
hunting equipment.
Cutting edge hunting equipment, like that piques my curiosity. So already it seems like we're going to be getting more hunting equipment than we did last time. So I'm thinking maybe, well, zoomable binoculars should be a given. Obviously, binoculars with, you know, range finding capabilities, which we already have. Night vision, which we already have. Which again, for me, I'm not fond of night hunting. I know a lot of people do enjoy it in the games. For me personally, it's not that big of a deal. And with Way of the Hunter, with the way the lighting was at night, I didn't see a purpose. The binoculars and the scopes just really didn't do anything much for me. The game is pretty bright at night as it is. So hopefully with this game, they've adjusted that and nighttime is actually dark, or at least you have sometimes when it's dark. I would like to see times when, the moon isn't full. Maybe we could get some kind of, not seasonal changes, but like maybe we'll have a full moon like every couple days instead of like just constantly. So that piqued my curiosity.
We've got you covered. And of course, we know you're a package deal. Your hunting buddy comes too.
Okay, so we got some buffalo there, bison. And we got a dog. Looks like a coonhound. So basically, the dog is going to be for tracking and stuff. I'll go into more of that a little later. So this is the new teaser trailer that we got. So for me, it's not overwhelmingly different looking than Way of the Hunter. But it's hard to say in these trailers because they get compressed in YouTube. And if you remember correctly, and some people... they disagreed, but with Way of the Hunter, some of their trailers to me, they weren't that impressive looking. And then towards like just before the game released, they released a trailer where they showed a really large specimen, like I think it was like a really big moose or something like that. And then it was like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, they've been holding back. Like the animal models to me looked kind of weird at first, but then when I seen the animals that were more like 4 and 5 star, it was like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Now we got something here. So this is the teaser trailer that came out. Now we do have a page up on the Steam store, which is interesting to say the least. So next hunting adventure. This isn't the name, or maybe it is. They said in Discord, Miriam said that they're still not sure on the name. So this could be just a placeholder, or maybe this is the name of the game. I'm kind of hoping this isn't the name of the game. Next hunting adventure. I don't know. I don't like it. Way of the Hunter 2 would be okay, I guess. I think they could think of something a little more interesting than Next Hunting Adventure. So as you can see, I stopped it here. We got a picture of the dog, which is cool. I mean, we all want dogs in the game. Personally, just to have the companion of the dog is kind of cool enough for me, just to have the dog there. That's what I use it for in Call of the Wild. Although the dog has come in handy. The pointer helped me point out a diamond black grouse the other day. The retrievers, they're pretty invaluable. So dogs can be very useful in the game, depending on how you play. If it's something that you're not going to use, and so be it. But me personally, I do enjoy having the dog in the game. So let's take a look at some of the other screenshots here. So let's zoom in on these. Okay, so this looks a lot like Nez Perce Valley to me. I'm not going to lie. I mean, this looks a lot like Nez Perce Valley, I would have to say. It's not. This new map is in Canada. But yeah, it looks very like Nez Perce. And, one of the things about Way of the Hunter is that the maps were all kind of samey. You know what I mean? Like, same terrain and stuff like that. So hopefully they step up their game this time. Now this piqued my curiosity big time, because this is not your typical moose. To me, and I don't think I've ever seen a non-typical moose. I would have to say this is a non-typical. What do you guys think? Have you ever seen a moose look like that? I've never seen a moose's antlers. Look at all the tines on that. I mean, that's ridiculous. And honestly, if we finally have a game that gives us non-typicals, like a modern game, like obviously Classic has it, but we haven't had another game since that has given us non-typicals in base game. That's not like under the Great One gimmick of Call of the Wild. This looks absolutely amazing to me. I mean, fingers crossed that this game will have some kind of random rack generator, true racks. I'm hoping we get a lot more fur varieties. I would love to see the fur varieties that we have in Call of the Wild in a game like this. I know it would probably be difficult the way they do the aging and stuff like that. Although maybe they don't do the aging anymore. Maybe they won't have that mechanic in this game. Who knows? You know what I would really like? I would just really like to see a developer, any developer. It doesn't matter if it's 9rock. It doesn't matter if it's EW. Any other developer that wants to make a game. Man, talking is hard for me today. I want to see them take all of the good things about all of the current hunting games that we have, everything that makes them good, and put them into a game and then expand upon that, right? I mean, there's some things that we still don't have in modern day hunting games. We don't have a lot of size differences, right? Classic does it a little bit, I think, for like wolves and bear, where you can kind of see the skulls are bigger. But overall, like, you know, especially with predators need something more to make them more exciting to hunt. Because, you know, whether it be this game and it's a 5-star bear, or if it's a 9 legendary Call of the Wild, the bottle of the animal looks no different than the smaller animals, right? Like, so a 5-star bear should be bigger than a 1-star, even like a 1-star mature. It's just how it should be. So we really need a game to put that in there, you know. And it wouldn't even bother me if it was just like predators. That would be fine, because with like antler species and horn species, you have the antlers and the horns to see the difference. So although I would like to see it across the board, if they could just start with the predators, because as of right now in all of these hunting games, hunting predators for me is just boring because they all look the same. And also, you know, like with Call of the Wild especially, everything is in a freaking herd. You know, can we please just stop that? And I don't mean with Way of the Hunter, because I feel like Way of the Hunter did it pretty well. Like bears are like pairs of bears, you know, which is fine with me. But like in Call of the Wild, where you just see like 20 bears together all the time, it's just ridiculous. Like I do understand that there are some times of year that bears do that, especially like in Alaska and stuff. You see the videos of them like getting all the salmon and stuff, and there's a lot of bear in the area. But overall, they're not herding animals. They're not in, you know, huge groups like that constantly. So that's something that I would like to see changed. All right. So let's move on to the next picture here. What is the next picture of? Okay, so we got a nice rustic log cabin. Love that. You know, I do think they need to work on the lodges in this game. I love that the lodge on every map that reflects the map. That's fine. Leave that alone. Don't take that away from us. But give us a lodge similar to Call of the Wild that's off map, where we could put all the animals. Well, you know what I mean? Let's do it that way, I think. I think that'd be really cool. So we could fill these lodges, and then once these lodges are filled, then we could fill that lodge. Although, you know, on each map, you can fill there's the lodge, and there's like the outposts that they have plaques as well. But I would still like to have a lodge where you could put animals from multiple maps on. I think that would be really cool. We have a turkey. It is what it is. I hope to God that they do something with the AI in the new game, because right now, especially with birds in Way of the Hunter, it's horrible. It's horrible. It felt like an afterthought. It feels like they just put them on the map just because you have to have birds in a hunting game. But honestly, if they're not going to make the bird hunting special or, you know, realistic or good, then just skip it, because I don't hunt the birds the Way of the Hunter because of that reason. They're not fun. I enjoy hunting birds in Classic. I enjoy hunting them in Call of the Wild. Way of the Hunter is just horrible. I mean, they gave us turkeys. They don't have a turkey call. They don't have decoys. Ducks, they don't have decoys. It's just really horrible. It's just a horrible experience altogether. Another shot of the lodge. Looks good. I mean, looks very similar to what we have in Way of the Hunter, if I'm being honest. I mean, if you look at the center stand there, I mean, that definitely looks like something we have out of Way of the Hunter. Although the plaque hanging over the door is very decorative. So I like that. Now, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if they implemented in this game, in the base game, what Call of the Wild just brought to their game in the DLC where we can change the plaques and we can have fancier plaques and we can change the color and all that. Imagine having that in the base game. That would be absolutely phenomenal. So we're going to look at these things first. Then we're going to read the description and I'm going to talk about more things. So we have another moose here. Now this looks like the Alaskan moose. Now, oddly enough, the first moose that we've seen, let me go back to the other guy. Sorry, guys. Like I said, this is gonna be a longer video. I hope you're okay with that. This is not the same moose. This is one of those. What do they call it? The Sherpa moose. This is the moose that we had like on Nez Perce Valley. Definitely, you could tell by the antlers, even though it's got like some kind of weird, non-typical rack. You could tell by the pommates and stuff that it's not the same as that moose. Later on, that's more of the Yukon type moose. This is the Sherpa moose. So now there's two maps, I think, in this game. One is Canada. So is the other one America? I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. Unless we have two different species of moose on one map. Is that possible? I don't know if this moose. No, this moose has to overlap, right? It has to overlap the other moose. So maybe we do have two different species of moose on one map. How freaking cool would that be? Because now if we go back to this picture, you can see this looks different. The pommates are different. This is like, this is what I think of when I think of a moose. And let me just say, this is a beautiful area that this moose is in. Look at that. It looks like there's like a little creek or a pond or maybe just a spring there in the middle of the forest. You got the flowers and everything. It's looking really good. There's a little bit of blur going on. I don't know what that's about. There's actually quite a bit of blur right here in the foreground. So I don't know if maybe it's breezy out and that's like the trees moving in the wind is causing that. I don't know, but this is a pretty good shot. I gotta say, I'm gonna say I was wrong. I was talking to someone on my Discord, and I said that this game doesn't look much different than Way of the Hunter. Looking through these pictures closer now and seeing that video, the teaser, kind of dissecting it, it does look better. The environment looks better. The animals, I don't know. The animals look like they're pretty much the same models to me anyway, but it's hard to say. We'll have to see what they look like in the actual game. And then we have this screenshot here. We got the hunter glassing through binoculars. He's wearing a backpack. He's got his dog next to him, which look at him. He looks like he's a good boy. He's not even fazed by those bison. He's very well trained, isn't he? So yeah, backpack. Does that mean we can carry more items? I kind of hope so. I mean, yes, there's realism, but it's still a game, and you have to have fun. And like I said, if you're going to have a map that's got species that that you need like a 22 and then bigger rifles, it's kind of difficult right now because you really have to decide what you want to hunt. And I don't feel that the smaller game in this game is really worth just hunting by themselves. That's just kind of how I feel about it. We all have different opinions. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that really enjoyed the small game hunting in Way of the Hunter. I'm just not one of them. I just wasn't one of them. Okay, so do we have another picture? No, and then we go back to the little teaser video here. Okay, so let's get out of that. Let's scroll down. It's coming soon. It's not out yet. This is going to be available for all the same platforms that Way of the Hunter was. They confirmed that in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, I suggest joining. I will put a link to that in the description. So explore the vast outdoors of North America in this next level open world hunting game. It's very interesting to hear about this game. So feel the thrill of the hunt. Keep an eye out for the wild and wondrous species that are roaming the Canadian wilderness. Hunt and display big game like moose, elk, bear, or bison, as well as smaller animals like rabbits, turkey, and various other birds. As the ultimate hunting simulator, that's a mistake. I'm going to tell you right here now that's a mistake, because right there, and already there's people in the Discord pointing that out, that are saying, well, if this is the ultimate hunting simulator, then you have to have this, or you have to have that, or it's got to be like this. And I agree. That's a bold claim to say this is the ultimate hunting simulator. It damn well better be, because Way of the Hunter was not. It was good. Way of the Hunter was good, don't get me wrong, but where it was lacking bad. Okay, so next hunting adventure's goal is to become the most authentic and advanced virtual hunting experience. They said the same thing about Way of the Hunter when it came out. They said that they wanted this to be like the hunting simulator, and it didn't hit the mark. Close, but just not there. So now they're doing it again, and it's like, guys, please, I'm begging you, deliver with this. Please. I hope they took the advice of everybody, and I hope they put that into practice, and I hope they really thought about this and really put their all into this, man. I really do. So it does go on to say, blah, blah, blah. Building upon our previous experience, invaluable player feedback, and countless iterations, this game will start as the foundation for many updates, expansions, and a true long-term support. That makes me happy, but it also makes me nervous, because although I don't think they ever really said how long they planned to support Way of the Hunter, they did say that it was going to have long-term support. And I mean, I guess, what was it, like 3.5 years? So I think Way of the Hunter's been 3.5 years. So, this sounds like that this is going to be like maybe Call of the Wild or classic level long-term support. That's what I would think. So the fact that they're saying that makes me feel like this game will be, supported for longer than Way of the Hunter was. So that's absolutely fantastic. I hope they get it right, because I really do feel like these developers can make an amazing game. I mean, they have. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Way of the Hunter. I'm not saying Way of the Hunter was a bad game. I'm just saying it could have been better. I don't know what happened. I would love to know what happened. I would love to know where the decision came that, okay, you know what? Let's stop developing this game and let's start fresh. So in my mind, and again, this is just in my mind, I'm hoping that they can do more with this game, and that's why they decided to start a new game, because I'm thinking maybe they're like, you know what? With Way of the Hunter being on UE4, we're limited by UE4, so let's upgrade the game, let's put on UE5, and hopefully they can give us an experience that they couldn't with Way of the Hunter, and that's why they decided not to, continue to support that game and make that game better and give us a new game. That's what I'm hoping anyway. With over 10 different real-world brand partners, from hunting rifle manufacturers to high-tech equipment and precision optics, our commitment to realistically simulating your favorite hunting gear guarantees ultimate in-game immersion. As the new hunter in town, you were recruited to take on a series of unique challenges to span 2 breathtaking environments and introduce you to a cast of memorable NPCs. In New Laurentia, you'll team up with a skilled dog trainer and assist the warden as you uncover the mystery behind the unusual behavior of the local moose population. Okay, let me just say this. Stories in hunting games, it's fine. It's fine. But I don't want to hunt as River. I don't want to be Todd. I don't want to be Susie. I don't want to be Billy Bob, right? Let me make my own character. Why? Please. I'm begging that that's not. I'm begging that that's how this is going to be, okay? Because it's a hunting game, and I know that there are people that are interested in the stories in these games. And look I played through the stories on Call of the Wild. I played through the stories on Way of the Hunter to get like the cash and the experience and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. Great. But at the end of the day, past the story, you're still going to hunt. The point of these games, and especially if it's going to have long-term support, I have to go back into the game. And multiplayer is so important to a hunting game, right? It really is. And if everybody's running around and everybody's River or, everybody's Timmy or whatever, it just loses it. It just loses it. I mean, I just want a hunting game where maybe I can create my own character. You put clothes in the game. Have us wear our own unique clothing, camo, hunting gear, hats, boots, stuff like that. I'm really getting sick of the whole. Oh, it's got to have such an in-depth story, and you're playing as this guy, dude. It's a hunting game. I don't care. The story is fine. So please, I beg of you, if the game is not to this point yet, I'm talking to the devs directly through here. Please do me a favor. Let us create our own character for at least the multiplayer portion of the game and put more into the multiplayer. Okay, put more into it than you did Way of the Hunter, and let us create our own character for at least that part of the game. I don't want to play as a character in multiplayer. I just don't, man. I'm sorry. It's just my opinion. That's like the part of the game that I could care the least about. I want to be my own person. I want the immersion of being in a hunting game. I want to be able to create my own character, get my own clothes, maybe use money to buy more clothes in the game. Hunting clothes, actual hunting clothes that I might wear, right? Don't put in, I don't want to see any more DLC where like we have, the 16th century hunting attire that they wore in England. Cool, great, okay, but I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Put real clothes in the game that we might wear. So the story mode to me, okay, but I just don't want it to be the main focus, especially if it's going to have long-term support. Features. Hunting dogs. Bring your loyal hunting companion to support you while you hunt and track game. It can search for animal signs, locate blood trails, and track down wounded animals. Your dog will learn and improve with constant exercise and training. Sounds promising. I think it's a difficult thing to do in a game. The Hunter Classic did it pretty good, I think. The dogs in that game work fairly well. I like the way they work. The dogs in Call of the Wild, not bad. They're a little bit of a dumbed down version of it, I guess. So fingers crossed that they do this right, and eventually they'll bring different dogs into the game. But again, if the bird hunting isn't fixed, then there's no point in having like retrievers and stuff like that in the game because it's just pointless. Shot review. Our improved bullet camera lets you break down every shot with precision, analyze trajectory, speed, angle, placement, and more. Learn how to make the perfect shot every time. That's interesting. I didn't feel the bullet camera. I didn't feel that screen was bad in Way of the Hunter, so improvements on that are interesting. Okay, we'll have to see what that looks like. Hunting Lodge. Welcome to the Hunting Lodge, your ultimate hub for adventure. Plan your next hunt, showcase hard-earned trophies, and unlock powerful upgrades to build the hunting paradise for your dreams. Each map features its own lodge unique to that territory. Again, so cool, but again, I would like to see a lodge outside of those maps where we can display, all of the animals, not just animals on a certain map. High-tech equipment. High-end gear will amplify your instincts, delivering the most immersive and realistic hunting experience with improved night vision and next-level hunting reserve monitoring for managing your habitats. So I was right. Night vision. Could care less about night vision. I'm going to be honest. Like I said, if the map's really dark at night, then I think it'll be fine. Again, I don't like hunting at night anyway. I just skip time. So for the people that do hunt at night, I hope for the love of God they've made the maps darker. Because the maps of Way of the Hunter were just too bright at night. I just didn't see the need for the night vision, unless you're hunting in the woods, which again I don't do. I don't like hunting that way. But other than that, it's just not dark enough in the game. Monitoring, hunting reserve monitoring. So that makes me think web trail cams. Because how else would you monitor the reserve for managing your habitats? And also managing the habitats, that seems like a confirmation that we will have the herd management and aging and stuff like that. Again, come back in this game. Beyond that, they haven't said what other equipment there is, which makes sense. They're not gonna spill the beans too much, considering that they don't even have a date when this is available. I hope I get early access to it. I really do. I'm a content creator with Way of the Hunter. They're pretty good with their content creators, so I imagine we will get some kind of early access for it. I'm excited about it, but also just a little apprehensive. So, yeah, I just want to take this time to kind of talk about some things. So, multiplayer has to be fixed. It has to be better than it is. Way of the Hunter right now, it's all right. It's just not. It's not where Call of the Wild is with multiplayer, which is weird to say because Call of the Wild has always been kind of iffy with multiplayer. Give me a second here while I take a drink. So multiplayer has to be better. I really hope we're going to have more than like 3 or 4 people multiplayer. I feel like 8 is a great number like we have in Call of the Wild. So I hope to see that changed. I would like to see something in multiplayer similar to like Call of the Wild. I would like to see some kind of competition or something like that. Something that you can actually do with the multiplayer. Although don't get me wrong, like I love hunting with friends. Like I was just hunting with Huntsman the other day at Call of the Wild, and it was a lot of fun. I actually got on Way of the Hunter with him when turkeys first released, and we had a lot of fun blasting turkeys, and it was actually a pretty cool experience. But still, I want to see more. I think the problem I have with Way of the Hunter is that they do focus more on story than hunting sim. And with this one, and you guys seen it, you read it with me on Steam, they want this to be like the ultimate hunting simulator type thing. I think to do that, you need to focus more on the hunting and not story. Like, I know people like the story, and that's fine, but you got to do it in a way, kind of like Call of the Wild does it. Do it in a way where you're in the story, but you're not a specific character. I think that would be the best way to do it. I'm really hoping and praying that we can create our own character, and we can all look different. And so when we do hop into multiplayer, you know, we have that choice. I would love to see clothes. Please, can somebody just put clothes in a hunting game? Like, you put all this other stuff. Put in clothes, man. Put in clothes that we can change. Jackets, coats, pants, shirts. Like, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? Like, especially if you're going to add a multiplayer element, you have to give us something to distinguish us from the other players. It's just mind-boggling that that's not in there. Also, again, like I said multiple times, you know, we need to have size differences in animals, especially with predators. At this point, if it was just predators, it would make me so happy. Like, I would be so happy that we had that. You know, if I could see a pack of wolves and you could see that one is bigger, you know, even if there was one out of every, God, I don't know, man. Maybe one out of every so many hundreds of spawns. Maybe you could have one wolf that was like just gnarly, right? He's got like a scar on his face, and he's got, you know, just big, and he's bad looking, you know what I mean? Then you can do it with other predators too. With bears, have a bear that's just big and scarred up, and, you know, his fur's dingy, and he's been through it, man. You know what I mean? He has just been through it. And like I said, you could do that with mostly all the predators. I don't see why you couldn't do it with. You could probably even do it with like smaller ones, like with foxes and stuff like that. Just, you know, make a fox that's like a little bit bigger body than the other ones. You could even do it by by star rating size. Like, just have the 5 stars have a bigger body or something like that. I don't know. I just want to see something different, man. I want to see something that we haven't seen in any other hunting game. I want to see them improve the stuff we already have, and I want to see them give us something that maybe we haven't seen. You know, obviously, animal interactions, I think would be a fantastic idea. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to position this mic right. Animal interactions are something that we really haven't seen in a lot of hunting games. Classic has it. Ultimate Hunting they've shown it. But again, I just don't have faith that the game is coming out anytime soon. Let's see here. What else? Like I said, trophy lodges, maps. I mean, the maps can be a little more varied. I'm not going to lie. The last maps, they were always the same. It was like, oh, mountains, grassland, wetlands. That's it. You know, I would like to see maybe like deserts or, you know, something different. And again, I want to see animals that are more territory based. Like mountain goats, I want to see more in the mountains. Like, it's fine if you have them wander down every once in a while, but, you know, I want to see them, I want to be able to hunt them in the mountains more. You know, it's funny because no matter how many times I hunt, whether it's by myself or multiplayer, I'll come to a spot, you know, like you'll go over a ridge or something and you go, oh man, I just wish I would see like elk over there, you know, on the side of that mountain grazing or something. And, you know, you don't see that and it's like, what a wasted opportunity, you know? So yeah, I would definitely love to see animals more in natural habitats. And again, I've said this multiple times, the things with the herds, I would like to see less herds. Like, I get it. It's fine to have some herds, but I do want to see more randomly placed single animals. You know, I want to see more just single bucks by themselves, whitetail buck by themselves. It's fine to have herds. You can still keep the herds, but give more of the random single animals just around the map, you know. Even like, you know, I know elk are more of a herding species, so maybe not them, but like the animals that it's not like an everyday occurrence to see herds of, I think we could do. So I know other people have been talking about putting seasons into the game. I just don't know how that would work. First of all, you don't hunt in every season, and also just how would that work? Like, you can't say I want a realistic hunting sim and say I want seasons, but then there's buck with antlers in spring. You know, why would that be? That wouldn't make sense. So now you're hunting in spring, and what are you hunting for? The bucks don't have their antlers. So what would be the point? I guess you could hunt other non-antler species, but again, I just don't see the point. I would prefer... I don't know. Maybe you could choose the season. Maybe each map, you could choose the season that's appropriate for the map. You know, so like... Canada, North America, you could choose whether it's either fall or winter. Maybe you could have like early fall, early winter, late winter, something like that. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I would like to see maybe you could change the seasons, but having seasons in the game, I think would kind of be kind of strange, and I think it would be difficult for them to really do. Again, though, the varieties, we need more varieties. Absolutely, we need, you know, non-typicals. We need random racks. We need fur variations. We need a lot more fur variations. Like, don't just give us, you know, you have albino whitetail and melanistic mule deer. Like, why? That makes no sense. Every animal should have its own rare fur variations, whether they be albino, melanistic, piebald, leucistic. So I mean, we just need to have the more variety to get us to hunt, because if this game is going to be here for a long time, if they're going to support it for a long time, you need to make me want to play the game. You need to give me something in the game that I want to play the game every day. You know, you want to maybe say, okay, I got that 5-star buck. Ooh, now I want to get a 5-star melanistic. I want to get a 5-star, gray variant. I want to get a 5-star non-typical. I want to get a 5-star with you know, a different rack on it, with that rack or this rack. You know, give me a reason to play the game. And the only reason to play the game would be a lot of variety to hunt, to see, to be like, what am I going to get next? Or any kind of missions or competitions, you know, leaderboards or something like that as well that you could implement in the game, I think would be fun. Obviously, if there was a thing like they do in the Call of the Wild, but I think you could do it better. You know, give us things to do, weekly missions where maybe you get money or a special prize or something like that. Maybe there's a special gun that you could get, or skins. Let us put skins on the guns. Maybe give us special gun skins or skins for vehicles or something like that you can only get by doing like the little competitions where, you know, you got to harvest so many of this animal or that or blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. I think all those things could be really fun, but this is already a 40-minute video. I knew this was going to be a long one. I do apologize for that, guys, but like I said, there's a lot to talk about. I really am passionate about these hunting games, and I really do want to see one of these games give a lot of us players everything that we want to see in a hunting game. So hopefully this new game will be on the right path. I have no idea, but I cannot wait to see more about it, and I can't wait to find out all the information I can to pass on to you guys. And we will definitely have this game on the channel. I can't escape it. It's what the channel started on. I began with Call of the Wild and Farming Simulator, and you know, I can't get that out of my blood, man. You know, I'm an outdoorsman. I fish in real life. I don't hunt in real life, but I have nothing against it. It was just something I never had gotten into. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave in the comments what you would like to see, you know, in the future hunting game. Let me know what you guys think about the new game, and let me know, what do you think it should be called? Give me some good names. Give me some good name suggestions in the comments. I want to know what you guys think the new game should be called. All right, guys, I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time.